So Aries, don't be surprised that this is a transitional time for you. I suspect that the transition has been happening for quite some time. Chiron has been impacting your first house for a while now, and it will. It stays in signs about 4 years. And what does that mean? It means that you are learning through your pain, and you are learning from your pain, and you are learning how to improve yourself by what you've experienced, most likely to never have to experience it again. Aries, this is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It is for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. I am an astrologer and tarot card reader, so I use astrology, tarot cards, and oracle cards to divine messages that provide you insights every single week. So go ahead and smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so that you know when I upload your favorite content, and you can get you can know when I upload the videos that you're looking for. Aries comes out every single Thursday. There's a bunch of stuff that I want to talk to you about that I'll be talking to you about throughout the video, but let's get deeper into the astrology. So the sun has just entered Aries, and that illuminates your whole sense of self and well-being, as well as it adds fire and energy to an already fiery and energetic personality. But with Chiron there, it's a really important thing that's happening, which means it's illuminating who you are in the wake of, or in the presence of, those ways that you know you've made mistakes, or those ways that you've failed. And what does that do? Well, it helps you improve who you are. It helps you become even stronger. And overall, it'll make you be a little bit more introspective than maybe you normally are. And while Chiron is with you, expect this to keep happening. And like I said, Chiron stays in each side for a couple of years. Now, on Sunday of this week, what's going to happen is Mercury is also going to shift into your sign out of Pisces. And I consider Mercury is the messenger, right? That's what he does. So what is Mercury going to deliver? Well, he's been hanging out with Jupiter and Neptune for the past 3 to 4 weeks. And ultimately, he's picking up all of that God sense, what I call it, that optimism and that understanding of unconditional love. I know we can go deeper into Pisces and how it can be illusionary, and how it can be distracting, and how it can be overly optimistic, but ultimately there is no sense of over-optimism if you look at it in a purely esoterical way, which is you are expanded in the presence of unconditional love. And unconditional love doesn't put any limits on you. The thing is that life does put limitations on you. And so how do we take that love, that unconditional love, and use it to illuminate and continue to illuminate ourselves in a world where life does have restrictions? Well, for you guys, especially with Chiron sitting there in your first house, it's going to be to learn how to love yourself despite or in the presence of the pain, and to learn how to take the pain and suffering that you've experienced and unshame yourself. And you do that by using what you've learned and what you've been through to create a strength about your character. And I know that's what's happening in you now. So if you feel yourself shift to a more introspective understanding of who you are, if you feel a level of like a flame and a fire of being inspired to advance your life and do the things and focus on the things that you see that you're capable of, going back to school, starting a new business, all those kind of things, it's not so much about your relationships with other people as it is about your relationship with you now, and that could go on for a couple of years. And ultimately, when Mercury comes in to deliver really those messages of unconditional love, this will open up and expand a lot. And it'll start just, I'm not going to say it is going to make things easier for you. Not externally, but internally. Because it will deliver faith, and it will deliver peace that will help you be more honest and more accepting of all that you've been through. Let's get into the cards to get into some more specifics, okay? Aries. Aries, 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 Aries. Yeah, wow, there's a lot coming out in the past. And that's just fine. that's just fine. In fact, that's just where we want to be. Not in the past, but understanding how we've led ourselves, gotten led to where we are now. We have use your mind wisely, when pigs fly. Now is a lucky time. Awesome. And then we have let it shine. And then we have the miracles are endless. Holy crap. Good shit's happening. Time for a beginner mind. You're getting a new beginning. You're getting a new beginning, and it's based on optimism. And the optimism is not based on being dreamy. The optimism is based on being extremely realistic and having confronted a lot of issues that scared you, hurt you, harmed you. And once you've been through that, ain't the other shit just so much easier? And then we have let spirit be your guide. It's also, I wouldn't be surprised, developing a new relationship with your sense of spirituality. I don't know if some of you are using religion, but there is a closer sense of how God is a part of your everyday life. Maybe that means deeper prayer, or just praying every day, meditating every day, doing yoga every day, taking walks in the park or walks on the beach every day. So, like, it's almost like you've been drawn to doing activities that help you feel, happy birthday to Denny, happy, right? And following that and trusting it and allowing time for it is the game changer here, because it's bringing with it all of this abundance. And this is like level up abundance. You have the cow spirit, you have peacock spirit, you have rabbit and cow spirit, and this deck are two of the most fortunate things you could ever experience. Let it shine is you finally allowing yourself to take front and center, to let the spotlight be on you. Because a lot of people think, well, don't Aries always want the spotlight on them? No, Aries energy is not Leo energy. Energy is pure energy. Aries is pure energy. It is the newbie, the child, and ultimately, you know, a lot of times your energy lacks discipline, and that's why you are attracted to things that allow more discipline in your life, because you know, you can feel every day how much energy is inside of you. And so Aries tend to like to go do by the rules, go by the rules, or work within traditional mechanisms, because it gives them direction. The issue is they actually lose themselves in this, instead of realizing what you came here to do, what you came here to serve, like how much, like what's your primary purpose in life. You start to make everything else around you your purpose. And sure, people love to use Aries energy because Aries have endless energy. And that's the big issue here, isn't it? Is a sense of, where has your energy been going? Has your energy really been going to serve you, or hasn't been used to serve others, and then they just give you whatever kind of paycheck they want to cut you for it? Like, that's the kind of rebalancing that you're going through right now, to kind of realize maybe it's more of a maturation, a sense of, I can feel myself taking over, because now I have the discipline within me. I don't need so much of the structure externally. And then we have time to collaborate. Oh, hey. So ultimately, it's when you have worked on yourself, you can maybe start feeling like there's a presence of reaching out and working with somebody else, and time for a deep dive. This is really interesting energy. This could be about collaboration with Libra, or it could be about collaborating with your opposite energy on the wheel, which is Libran energy. So in other words, now you're starting to, once you've established a strong sense of who you are, of what you've been through, and I've been picking this up, I think a couple months ago I picked it up for you, a sense of now somebody else coming into the mix, and not even because you're looking for it. I gotta say, I don't think this is even because you're looking for it. I think that this is just a sense of really feeling like you're vibing. When you know who you are, you get to pick better partners. And when I say partners, it doesn't have to be just a romantic partner. This is not a romance reading. The romance reading happens in the extended. And by the way, there's always an extended. Those links are below. And there's two ways to get the extended, either the traditional way by renting them through Vimeo, which I always appreciate, or by joining my Unbound membership, which gets you access to so many perks, badges, priorities in chats, specialized emojis that I myself designed. But it also gets you access to exclusive content that I don't post on any other of my social media profiles. It also gets you access to chats, live chats with me, where you can bring your questions and ask me anything you want to ask me. I'm your personal tarot card reader. Got me in your pocket at least twice a week. And then it also involves full access to those extended videos. So, and in celebration of Aries season, what I'm doing 5 days a week is I'm doing exercise videos, workout routines. No, I'm not a personal trainer. I don't want to be, but I figure getting into our bodies in Aries season is the best way to raise our vibration. And if you want to work out with me, it's grunting and I look silly doing it, but I'll be there for you. So come on and join that membership and start to tackle it together. So that's kind of what it is. It's like finding could be your tribe, finding the people who really get you. Understand that there's no way that you could have done this without you really getting you, without you really accepting who you are, without you knowing who you are, 1111, awakening to the truth and existence of yourself and showing it out loud. And then you get more authentic relationships. Libra energy, time for a deep dive. This could be inadvertently falling in love. And I say that lightly because I don't love to predict romances coming up, and some of you may be happily married folk, but ultimately this is a deepening of our connection to other people, because when we know the self and we have that humbling of Chiron, humbling the sense of self, not making us feel like shit about ourselves. When you understand and experience humility, ultimately, Aries, there's a strengthening to your character. And this means that you are raising your standards. Time for a deep dive means diving down deep into your heart space. It's really interesting. I always find that time to collaborate is really ironic because it's the first card in this deck. It says 1, but it's really talking about 2. Interesting. I don't know. I don't think, maybe that's a mistake. No, it's not a mistake. It's time to collaborate. It's time to collaborate, and it's time to go maybe deeper than you've gone in a while. It could also be just a really wonderful time for you being illuminated in love. There is some interesting aspects to Mars and Venus that are still conjunct, and they will still remain conjunct in Aquarius. Aquarius is your 11th house. So it could even be friendships. So you have basically, yeah, it could just be friendships or a friend deepening into a lover, or meeting somebody and finding something a lot deeper in a situation where you thought you were just going to go in there. Maybe you're rolling up your sleeves, you're working for charity, you're doing something, 11th housey, working for charity, working with a group of friends, hanging out with friends from work. I really am getting this huge download of just you not expecting it. Of it being something that you didn't anticipate. And like I said, that could be also professional too, meeting somebody who you eventually start your own business with, meeting somebody who you start an online something with. Like ultimately, it's like it wasn't an intent, but there was such a harmonious vibration in what you were doing that this is a time when those serendipitous connections can start to happen. Obstacles and challenges, however, are here. But what I'm hearing from Spirit is that these obstacles and challenges are part of what brings you two together. Obstacles and challenges could be with the situation at large. It could be that you're starting to experience a grind, and that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. So ultimately, now, how do you then apply what you've understood from yourself to your partnership? Well, obstacles and challenges are 100% how you get stronger. And so these obstacles and challenges that you're going through now can serve to deepen the circumstance, the situation, the relationship, or the partnership that you are in. All right, so let's keep going. Yeah, dude, we are not done. nowhere near it. Never-ending story. So you may feel like part of these obstacles and challenges is that you're just not getting through, or that something keeps repeating itself. This is never a good feeling, because it makes you not like, obstacles and challenges are great, right? As long as you can move on from them. But there is some sense here with never-ending story that you feel like, oh shit, is this happening again? Why am I here again? The answer to that would be because you made the choices in the same way that you did before, and you hadn't grown first. You hadn't grown first, and you might have gotten yourself into the same predicament. And this is the time when that would become very clear, because the humility, especially of that mercurial understanding and aha coming in. Maybe that's what 1111 was about, right, guys? Maybe it was about, as Mercury is heading in to your sign, you're starting to become very aware of where you have once again fucked up and gotten yourself into situations like, how did I do this to myself again? But you know what? You're realizing it. You're realizing it now. And I always tell people, you can do something for 15 years straight. It doesn't mean that you have to do it for 15 years in a day. As soon as you wake up and realize something's going on here that I really don't like, I can then stop and change it. Okay, so that's what we're going to work on. The tribe is here. Love it. So this is friendship, a change in the wind. You're changing who your tribe is. You're changing who your tribe is. Or maybe there are changes, happy birthday, Doug Denny, to your tribe, right? Now, lots of times you can experience this, because Aries especially can get so into what they're doing that they move with momentum, and then they realize too late who they've left behind. So ultimately, there's a sense of maybe wanting to work on new friendships or becoming distracted. I feel like this is, you could actually be changing your location or be changing your friends because of work, or finding that your group is changing because you've changed positions or jobs, or you're repositioning yourself intentionally to get another job. A change in the wind job. I almost felt you actually legitimately like starting to feel like your friend group has changed, or like you're shifting somehow, maybe where you actually are having to change, right? Having to meet new people. Never-ending story is the only thing that confuses me. And yes, I do have that fucking song in my head. I do. You can't get it out of your head. That's just a great song, right? Go look it up. Maybe I can attach it above here. That Never-ending story is a good tune, right? Anyway, Never-ending story, the tribe, a change in the wind, and chop. You got to work on some shit. And it could be, especially if you've had a group of friends for a very long time, something that you never got around to. Oh, and that's why it keeps coming up. That's why. It's karmic, right? And karma doesn't mean punishment. Karma just means we end up living in the energy that we create. And ultimately, if we don't confront the energy and we keep going around in loops and circles, and I feel like that was part of your fucking reading. Loops and circles, getting stuck in a loop. I've talked about that before. When I channel, it's very difficult for me to remember what the fuck I said, but I know I used that imagery just a few minutes ago. So bear with me, maybe rewind a little bit. And ultimately, what does that mean? Finally being able to change something that has been going around over and over and over again. I don't know if you've had feelings for somebody that you never acted on, a friend now becoming a lover, or actually confronted. The thing is this, and this is why it's such a powerful time for you. You're actually going to be able to realize how you've been making mistakes. And it's not just you, it's everybody. Very few of us know. And that's why we get stuck in these loops. And I feel like now, especially with Mercury bringing in that higher knowledge, that higher wisdom, that expanded understanding without getting, it's not stuck, right? It's almost like, wow, I never fucking noticed it before. It's like not only your third eye, but your crown chakra bursting open. That's what 1111 is. It's awakening to shit that you couldn't see before. It's been happening the whole time, but you haven't been able to see it before. Well, that's the power of this moment, is that yes, in this energy, you are going to be able to see it, and you can't do something about shit that you can't see, but ultimately you can see it now. You can touch it now. You can understand it now. You can comprehend it now. And now you have the power then to do something about it. Okay, so what do we do about it? What does Aries do about it? We're going to get into tarot. We're going to get into the depth of the tarot reading. Let's give you a few cards. What does Aries do about it? Ooh. Knight of Swords is here. He's the one facing me, so he's the one that's I'm gonna show you. The other two cards are basically going to we'll talk about that in the extended. But Knight of Swords comes out. What do we do about it? Act on it, talk about it, say it, bring it up, bring it to light. And that's what this shit right here is about. Peacock, actually saying and showing and letting out something that maybe you have been holding back or keeping in, maybe because you were unaware of it, most likely, or also because, I don't know, it just didn't seem important to you. But now it's time to actually act on an idea that you've had, especially if you have felt it intuitively. As Mercury pops out of the womb of Pisces, there's a sense of, boom, I felt it intuitively, but now I can grasp it consciously. Let's go into tarot. I'll see you guys. The links are below.